African Americans have the highest death rate and the shortest survival rates for any ethnic group when it comes to cancer because of health disparities. There is a lot of research indicating health disparities, zip codes, food deserts, and a variety of other socioeconomic disparities that impact African Americans more. And taking cancer outcomes, cancer prevalence, cancer incidence in a silo doesn't take into consideration the full comprehensive scope of the disparities African Americans face in general with stress on the job, financial stress, the experiences with racism, the experiences with discrimination based on where you live and your zip code. So all of these things are taken into account and impact the outcomes of African Americans with cancer. Some of the things that are important to note is that it has been scientifically proven and published in peer-reviewed journals that stress causes cancer to proliferate and grow faster than a normal environment. And African Americans have a higher stress level. And a lot of the things that people think slavery ended 400 years ago, get over it, it doesn't impact you. Well, when you look at the financial outcomes of African American communities overall and the institutionalized racism and challenges that have been put in place, African Americans do face higher levels of stress. And in general, some of the socioeconomic challenged areas have poor outcomes because of food deserts, because of the pollution of the environment, and cheaper products have more carcinogens. The fast food restaurants have documented carcinogens. And when you're in a food desert and you're living off fast food, low budget menu items, you are exposing yourself to more carcinogens. So there are a lot of factors that should be taken into consideration, not just race, but the socioeconomic status, the zip code, the level of stress, the whole health and wellness, the lack of exercise because you're working 2 jobs to feed the children and you don't have the luxury of free time to do self-care, to manage stress, to get therapy. And most of the African American community who are socioeconomically challenged in poor neighborhoods are facing extra extenuating circumstances that are not taken into account. So in order to get a full picture, a comprehensive picture of what's happening to African Americans who are diagnosed with cancer, we have to look at stress management. We have to look at the overall diet and exercise as a comprehensive plan. We have to look at the psychological impact of a diagnosis. And because we know grandma died from cancer, grandpa died, or my mom or my dad died from cancer, when African Americans get a cancer diagnosis, they automatically assume it's a death sentence. And it takes a lot more effort for them to be optimistic. And we know from the placebo effect that how you think something will work for you impacts the outcome. If that weren't the case, the placebo effect would be null and void. But thinking something will help actually can help in a lot of instances. So we have to look at the comprehensive situation and not just individual African Americans and think, oh, this is a them problem. Because African Americans are playing such an important role in contributing making important contributions, to society overall. So when something impacts even any community, it impacts the entire country. So I think it's important to look at the comprehensive approach to health and wellness, stress management, and overall quality of life for all Americans.